I mean, there's so much shadow that's being exposed in this world right now. COVID, the divide or the discrimination due to the mandates, racial discrimination, environmental changes, the beginning of the collapse of the monetary system. You guys, the list goes on and on and on right now. This is the Great Awakening. This is the great shift that we're in. Lots of people are being triggered. There is fear propaganda. There's fear-provoking content everywhere you look. And all of this collective shadow of our world is triggering our own personal shadows and fears. It's okay if our shadow aspects arise. It's okay if you relapse for some time. Perhaps at the root of these shadow actions, the old you never felt good enough, would never feel like you were loved, would never feel like, abundance was available to you, or would never feel like you're capable enough. So if your shadow rears its head, just know that it's okay. Let it play out. Allow yourself to feel the feels and to be in it. Be the observer. Witness this part of yourself and then know and tell yourself that it's just temporary. Tell yourself that you're aware of it, that you see it. Oh, I see you. Oh, look at you coming back, depression. I see you. Look at you coming back. Haven't seen you in a while. Just acknowledge it. Tell yourself that you accept it and you love it anyway. Tell yourself that you know it's here for now, but that it won't stay. As this time it's different because you're aware. This time it's different because you're conscious of it. When you're conscious of it, when you observe it or witness it, you have more power than it. Now, I know it can feel intense at times. We may think, what am I doing? Why am I doing any of this? What is the point of anything? Or we can get real down on ourselves and punish ourselves for having a relapse, for not being healed or not being over it or, not doing a good enough job at it. And then those thoughts are usually followed by feelings of shame or guilt or anger or disappointment. But just look at all of that too. Look at those emotions, feel those emotions out, observe it, break it down, see what's at the root of them. We can be so hard on ourselves. And that's the thing, the fear really gets you, it paralyzes you and pulls you in. And then you feel bad or guilty and freak out about that, that your old self or your old shadow is back. But all you need to do is just simply be aware of all of that. We want to have compassion for ourselves and go easy on ourselves and not feed into the fear or the guilt of having our shadow come back. You guys, you got to remember, the fear does not have control over you. You have control over it simply by just becoming aware of it, observing it. The process of integration and of spiritual growth isn't cut and dry. It's not black and white. You don't just go from one way of being to another. It's a slow integration, which means there's going to be periods where the pendulum swings, where the old part of ourselves may arise, and it's just simply the physical manifestation of your energy shifting and evolving. Doesn't mean you're reverting. It doesn't mean you're digressing. It's just a part of the process of integrating. And say to yourself, this is just temporary. This too shall pass. This is not all of who I am. I am not stuck here. This isn't me forever. It's just here for now, and that's okay. I'm going to love and accept myself anyway. Write it down on a post-it, write it in your journal, record a message, a memo on your phone to yourself so you can remind yourself of these messages, because we all have times where our shadow is activated. Now, before I wrap up here, you guys, I want to be really clear about this one thing. We don't want to be on either ends of the spectrum. We don't want to embody the shadow aspect of ourselves fully. But then on the opposite side of the spectrum, we also don't want to embody being the person who denies, rejects, avoids, or overcompensates for our shadow side. You see, either sides of the scale is an unbalanced energy. Either sides of the spectrum holds a lot of energy that is overpowering and that will continue to manifest circumstances that will trigger the underlying limiting belief or fear that is at the very root of these shadow aspects of yourself. That's at the very root of these behaviors. You can see that the energetic law of attraction is the perfect mechanism to get us to look at and acknowledge our shadows, to look at and acknowledge where we are putting the majority of our focus or our power. It helps us to bring about more balance in our lives, more neutrality. We don't want to constantly maintain either extremes or ends of the spectrum. We want to create a bridge between these extremities so that we can create a more balanced energy and a more balanced life. And that's what these energetic laws of the universe help us to do or achieve. The very essence and secret workings to this reality and to life itself is balance, is integration. It is the best place to operate from. It is the best place to create from, to manifest from, and to be.